yay.
Hi.
Hello.
It didn't cut off my head. You see
Oh,
that?
look at that.
Yes.
Are we in? We're in.
We're in.
We're in shot.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I am Jamie Weiland,
Dr. Sarah.
and we are the girls from Integrative Health and Wellness. And I'm so excited about this topic. As anybody knows, right? Sugar's kind of my thing these days.
It's everyone's thing.
It's everyone's thing. So we get to talk today. I mean, we hear so many different things about what's good for you, what's bad for you, different fad diets that, are just all over the place. And I mean, how do you even know what's right or what's wrong?
It's hard.
It's so hard. But I mean, out of all of those, there's one thing, unfortunately, that stays the same through every diet, and it's the sugar. Like, there's no diet fad that allows you to have sugar.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely not a healthy one.
And so, I mean, we all know you shouldn't have sugar.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we all understand the magnitude of what it's doing to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we brought a bunch of different sugar alternatives here for you. You guys probably all know this one. This is just regular sugar.
Sugar.
Sugar. So, Dr. Sarah, what is so bad about it?
Well, I mean, sugar itself feeds cancer and any chronic disease and any inflammation, which that's one of the main reasons why it's bad. And two, I mean, it changes us from our preferred fat metabolism to a sugar metabolism, which is inefficient, and that's where you can kind of get into the hypoglycemia and fatigue and moodiness and diabetes.
So that's like the sugar high, right?
That's a sugar low.
But I eat sugar, I get energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sugar high. So that would be like the metabolism that you just said.
No, it just changes your metabolism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because our preferred metabolism to burn fat with a tiny little bit of sugar.
Okay.
Instead of burning only sugar and no fat.
So, listen, I'm going to sound like a complete idiot here. So I should just have given you a warning ahead of time, right? Because I really, truthfully, and she doesn't know this, I'm really stupid when it comes to this stuff. I really am. I mean, I really do only understand I shouldn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know why. There are regular sugars that are like cane sugar.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. It's just this, right?
Yeah, it's less processed.
So it's less processed, or like organic sugar. There's even this organic sugar.
Right.
But you're saying that's still not good for me.
Right.
So this has got to go. Just no matter how you think about it.
At least, majority.
Well,
every once in a while type of thing, but not a day-to-day life.
Okay. And so, we all love the taste of sweet things, right? Which is why we're so addicted to sugar. Mm-hmm. So some of the alternatives, which we hear so much about, right? Some of these we can't have. So I know, for me, the first alternative that I ever heard of was agave.
Right.
So I was always taught, agave is good for you because it's not sugar. So you could just put agave on it.
Yeah, I'll go through some of these. We have agave because what does it say? Low glycemic. So it's supposed to impact blood sugar less than sugar. Which it does a little bit, but it's actually really high in fructose, which isn't something we can metabolize that well. And everyone's kind of heard about high fructose corn syrup and how it's actually very damaging to your health. This is pretty much equally as bad. There's really not that much difference between this and sugar and, brown sugar. And, truly honey is still sugar. It's probably one of the least processed sugars, but it's still sugar. So all these, it still will impact blood sugar, which the whole point of what I have people do is to get something that doesn't impact blood sugar that much, so you can eat it without guilt, basically. Where this, you'd still have to monitor how much you intake.
Okay. So sugar, honey, and agave are not my best choices.
No, any real sugar isn't. So You have maple syrup in there.
Oh, that's a great one. I can't have maple syrup.
Well, I don't like to say can't, but
I shouldn't.
right, that's more the technical correct term. It's all sugar. I mean, fruit sugar. Some of them are less processed than others, so they still have some vitamins in there, some minerals in there, so you're going to get something from them, but still sugar. So it goes into coconut sugar is probably the next.
And I bought coconut sugar the other day thinking, I mean, it's from a coconut, right?
Yeah.
And organic. Mine was organic, so, I mean, how could I go wrong with this?
Mm-hmm. So this is probably, I have this in my cupboard if I'm like cooking for holidays and the recipe calls for brown sugar and I'm feeding family, and I mean some of the other sugars cost money and I don't feel like wasting my money on family that don't really care if there's healthy sugars in there.
Oh,
And
I see.
let's be honest. So, but I can't just buy brown sugar. I can't do it. So I'll buy coconut sugar, and it tastes just like brown sugar,
Okay.
and it still is gonna impact your blood sugar. It still is, but it's not heavily processed, so it still has vitamins and minerals in it. So at least you're gonna get something and not just like empty calories, just pure inflammation. You're just it's healthier, but it still shouldn't be something you should just consume as unlimited
So this
quantities.
is like a treat.
Yeah,
Okay.
a treat that's still a treat, but you should only have it once in a while.
Okay.
But it does taste good, guys. That was also the
I mean,
part.
can't go wrong with brown sugar.
We're
or
supposed to
something
tell
that
people
tastes
how
like that.
things taste.
So is there an aftertaste in the coconut sugar?
No, have you tried this?
I haven't, so I bought it. Like I said, I really did buy it. I put it up in my cupboard, and then I came here and I asked Dr. Colin about it, or just in mentioning said, that I had bought it.
Mhm.
And he said, wasn't my best option, so it's just kind of stayed in my cupboard, and I haven't.
Oh yeah, it
I
just
haven't
tastes
used it.
like it just tastes like sugar. I mean, there really isn't any taste.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good to know at least, right?
That's why it's good for
Birthday cakes.
yeah when you
I'm always looking for alternatives to the birthday cake because I have 3 kids and they're young, so we always celebrate the birthdays. And I suffer on these days because carbs, cause me a lot of pain. And I really want this cake. And so that might be a nice alternative for me, just to make something better
Yeah.
than what I'm feeding
What
the
you're
rest of the
buying,
family
yeah.
that doesn't care.
well, I would make it for the rest of the family because they won't tell difference.
Really?
For you, there's better options.
Than
'Cause-
that one.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're truly like trying to make something healthy, then this isn't the way to go.
Do you see? Just a little side note. I said you're tough. You're tough, and which is so nice, right? Because she doesn't let me get away with much, which is for me really nice because I have that personality that would take advantage of that like crazy, and
Well, I
there's
just don't want
just
to lie.
none of that going on here with Dr. Sarah. So
Because I get people and they get into a habit, and if I say this is a good alternative, go for it without then telling them there's better ones, then they get used to this. And when it comes to a time where I'm then kind of perfecting their diet even more, then oh, by the way, this actually isn't that good for you. Sorry, let's find something else. I'd rather be upfront and be like, listen, this is a good stepping stone,
okay,
but be aware that I'll probably want you to try other things too.
okay,
So
good. I love it.
I guess that's why I'm tough, per se.
I like that you're tough.
I'm just honest. I don't like people to believe one thing and then it turns out I'm completely changing their diet all over the place again. Because I've been there and it's frustrating to begin with to have to change your diet. And then I've been through the phases where I get really comfortable in one thing, thought I was doing really, really good. Turns out I really wasn't. Then I get frustrated and fed up and just annoyed all over again, and then have to like go through the process of figuring out, well, what do I like now? And I'd rather they just skip all that and jump to the, like, I guess, guilt-free sugars.
I think it's nice too because I find like with you'll give the information, a whole plethora of information. And then after that, you let, me decide which which step I'm going for. Like, am I just going to leap?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, you know, with you and Dr. Cullen, I've really wanted to just take the plunge.
Mm-hmm.
And you both were like, it's probably a little too much, setting myself up for failure.
Right.
And just like gave me some baby steps to take. So it's really just nice that you guys are really good about finding that happy medium
Mm-hmm.
and then helping me get there so that it's like a success, not
Yeah.
a complete disaster that I can't keep up with. So it's
Yeah,
good.
that's what you like.
So okay, so the next one we hear like a ton about is stevia.
Yeah, so that's probably one of your healthier bets. I want to do that last
Okay.
because
Yeah.
again, I like to end with what you want. So
I'm actually really glad to hear that. But okay.
So we have xylitol is another one. That's a big one they'll put in like gums.
I was gonna say I see that everywhere.
Hmm.
Okay.
And this is kind of maybe like middle of the road health.
Is xylitol is it natural?
I mean, it's not found.
I didn't know, like, is it a plant? Like, what is xylitol?
Xylitol and erythritol are usually both derived from corn. At least most of the ones you'll see in the stores. I believe xylitol can also be found from birch trees, and I think erythritol can also be found from something else too. But majority of what you'll see is corn because that's cheaper. And that's one of the big problems with xylitol and erythritol is that unless it specifies non-GMO,
Okay.
then all you're doing is consuming GMO corn, which causes a bunch of problems, inflammation, and there have been studies that they did with like rats, and they found that GMO caused tumors. So if you can avoid GMO, then I would do it.
So we actually had somebody who cannot watch us live, like they're just the time frame that we're doing this in didn't work out, but they did have a question about the xylitol and erythritol because they said they had a hard time like digestively whenever they eat those. So this makes more sense then because if somebody had a sensitivity to corn,
Right, then you'll probably most likely react unless it's not from corn, which is hard to find
the source.
here.
Oh,
I mean,
here.
maybe if you went online, you might be able to find it, but most people are picking them up in the store.
Right.
And also, they are hard to digest, anyways. Both of these products for the human,
Oh, okay.
and so they can cause intestinal distress that way. So you could get, upset stomachs or gas or diarrhea is another one. And so if you are trying these, then be aware of that. It's not usually that extreme, but I would try a little bit first before you just jump all in and experience problems. But Swerve, I actually haven't tried this one. This was Dr. Conseil's mom's. I rated her pantry.
And she makes the best.
She's a really good cook.
She makes the best goodies. I mean, like
She does.
all the sweets that she in the fat bombs.
Maybe she'll share her haystack fat bomb recipe that everyone loves, and it's guilt-free, and you can eat it as much as you want.
We're gonna have to make sure she watches this.
So share it with her. Her name's Karen. So Swerve this is probably a good start for people that are switching from like sugar and honey, maple syrup, and even coconut sugar because it tastes just like sugar.
Okay.
It does have some other things in it besides erythritol. Not horrible, but just there's other stuff in it too. And it comes in like powdered sugar form and granular.
So have you cooked with the granular?
Yeah, I've had both.
Like, do they dissolve well?
It's just like sugar. It
Okay.
works just like sugar. It's pretty much like a 1-to-1 ratio.
Oh, great.
Tastes just like sugar. And so this is also a good step if you're making cakes and, people want to eat healthy, but then they complain about the taste of like stevia and stuff that has a notorious bad aftertaste for people. So this is good. It is a little pricey, so that's one thing to keep in mind. But it is a good alternative, but still not the best.
Not the best
Not
yet.
the best.
Okay.
Monk fruit is one of my favorites, personally. And I'd say it's almost in line with stevia. They're close. Though this one that you can find in our stores around here is monk fruit and erythritol together. So this isn't just pure monk fruit.
I was really upset you grabbed that one. That look on my face was of complete disappointment that she grabbed that one before the rest of these, because I know the best is coming.
Look at this.
And I love monk fruit, so I really wanted monk fruit to be.
I do. Taste-wise, this is my favorite. And so this is the one I'll use if I want to sweeten my coffee or something, just because erythritol doesn't bother me personally that much. And I'm not using that much
Right.
when I'm doing it, so I justify it, whether I should or not. But they do sell monk fruits that are just monk fruit, but not in our area. So you'd have to buy it online. And I haven't personally tasted just
monk fruit.
so I can't tell you what that tastes. But this tastes just like sugar to me. Does it to you?
I love the monk fruit. I do get a little bit of an aftertaste if I use too much of it.
It's really sweet.
It is really sweet, but I do like that it's like a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
But truthfully, I always use just a little bit less.
I don't believe it's 1-to-1. It's like really.
It's a little
really
sweeter.
Sweet.
But yeah, I do like it. The only thing I don't like about monk fruit is that it doesn't dissolve well.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I mean,
at least this kind. I don't know about the powder.
Yeah, I don't know if I did get the powder. I did buy the powder, and it was I went and bought this instead because I just was not happy. So the powder, I remember now, was like stayed on top.
Oh, it didn't mix.
It just was not a good mixer.
Did it taste like sugar?
It tasted like monk fruit. Yeah. I mean, sugar is like sweet, and it was like as soon as you taste sugar, it's like this instant sweetness. Where like the monk fruit, I think it comes a little bit later, if that makes sense. Like it's just not as in your face sweetness.
Yeah.
Which is good, and I love that it's like in this conversation, it's a great step to getting away from sugar.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, that monk fruit has been my saving grace.
Yeah.
Like
I
I could not give up sugar. I just couldn't. Like I'm so addicted. But the monk fruit saves me.
Yeah.
And I travel with it. I travel with monk fruit.
I steal yours here when we get coffee at lunch sometimes. And I have some of your monk fruit.
Yeah, like I have it at home. I have it here. I mean, it just because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm craving the sugar, because the monk fruit does do it for me. And like even we make fat bombs. I use monk fruit in the fat bombs, and I like it, except sometimes it just doesn't dissolve like I'd like it to.
Yeah.
So that's probably my biggest problem with it.
I usually, when I actually bake, I mix a bunch of different ones to get the
different sugars.
Yeah, get the taste I want. Sometimes before I found monk fruit, I would primarily use stevia, but I hate the aftertaste of stevia. I can't stand it. It reminds me of diet sugars.
Yes.
I can't do diet.
So wait, I gotta know then. Do you get the aftertaste of stevia, like in any amount?
No.
So it has to be like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
So what I would normally do, it'd be use my stevia, which we'll get into, but I'd use my stevia till whatever I'm making tastes sweet, like muffins or cookies, but not enough to get the aftertaste. And then I would add in, before monk fruit, it was either coconut sugar or honey to like get that flavor. So all you taste is that, but that was only like 1 or 2 teaspoons, so it's not enough to like truly do anything, but it's still in there. But now I use monk fruit for that taste, because I like the taste of monk fruit.
And let me just say, I know that, Mrs. Kinsale's, Dr. Collins' mom, she makes the best treats. Dr. Sarah is like the queen of alternatives. And I mean, she will take, the food, any food that is just awfully horrible for you, that just tastes so wonderful, and she'll make it in her own way, in a awesome natural form that looks and tastes just like the garbage that we're buying anywhere else. Like, it's amazing. So yeah, I think I absolutely love when like your foods and your alternatives and stuff. So if you're saying you're doing this, it gives me hope that there really is an alternative because her food, Dr. Sarah's food, tastes just like the garbage I used to like before I worked here. So
Yeah, you had those cookies.
she has the best cookies. It's like 3 ingredients for these peanut butter cookies that are just to die for good. She made the chicken pot pie.
Oh,
I didn't even
good.
taste the chicken pot pie. It just looked fantastic. And then the other one that you made, she has, the squash that we have here that you and
yeah.
Dr. Cullen brought in. She made this dish. I still don't even know what was in it, but it was so good. So here at the office, I feel like I'm like Mikey. If you guys my age will remember Mikey commercials when, you gave this in commercials, you gave this kid all their food. You'd say, oh, Mikey will eat it. Mikey will eat it. It's like, oh, Jane will eat it. Jane will eat it. Because it's like a whole new world on how they eat. So, but it's really interesting because of the things like alternatives that you make, you don't feel deprived.
Yeah, that's like why I always try to stress is you're only deprived if you let yourself be deprived and you don't try. Like when I started, I loved donuts so much that I had to make grain-free donuts regularly just to get through it. So I'm not feeling like, oh, I'm missing my donuts or my bagels or anything like that. I think that's why I kept searching and making like my grain-free bread that I make. Or the pizza crust that's online.
So like the pita, that's the grain-free, it's like grain.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was it's a little dry. It's a little finicky. But I do the flatbread now is my bread.
I just made your pita bread that's on our YouTube channel.
Flatbread. Pizza
Flatbread.
crust. I think it's technically labeled pizza crust.
So that's what I used it for this week was I made my own pizza. So I went and bought the kids whatever they wanted because they're not on board completely yet. But then I used your recipe to make my own pizza, and it was easy as can be. Listen, if I'm just want you all to know that if I am telling you it's easy, please, right?
It's
Dr.
easy.
Sarah knows. Trust me, it's easy because I'm not a good cook. I'm just not yet. We're working on that, but super easy.
Okay.
All right.
Stevia. So, mine is monk fruit. Keep that.
We're keeping this?
I can put it down.
All right.
Let me see all these. These are all stevia, and they're all not equal. And so, this is probably the worst here. Because there is liquid stevia that is actually good, like just stevia basically. But this, if we read the ingredients, there's a lot of stuff in there that's chemicals, basically. And so that's one thing to keep aware, especially if you walk down a Walmart aisle. There's a bunch of things that end in Ivia, and they're usually not just stevia. There's usually other things involved in them. Some are some are not so good. Like this one has, this one actually has erythritol too in it, and it has natural flavors, which is just chemicals, so that it tastes how we think, or they think. Yeah, we're kneeling, guys.
I'm so sorry. I'm back. We're kneeling, and both of my legs have fallen asleep. So bear with me just for 1 second. We're having technical difficulties because my legs aren't working. Hang on one second. All right, I'm good. Okay, there we go.
So this has natural flavorings, which is just pretty much chemicals cooked up in a lab to make it taste like however they think this should taste. And it also has a bunch of preservatives in there, which aren't natural.
Well, the good thing about that for me is that was my least favorite.
Oh, good. And then this one, Truvia, also actually has erythritol in it. So this isn't pure stevia either, but that you wouldn't know that just by the name. And so this one's like, it has erythritol in it, stevia, and then also natural flavorings. So there you get chemicals in this one too.
So do you like monk fruit better than Truvia?
Yes.
Okay.
Monk fruit doesn't have, at least that one, didn't have natural flavors.
Okay, and that one came from Giant Eagle.
Yeah,
So
I don't think it
Yeah, that was wonderful. Okay.
And then these two are, I guess, almost equal. And this one says it's organic, so it might be a step up from this one. I don't think this one says organic. They both say non-GMO, which is always great. And this one, where are the ingredients? Here. This one has fiber and stevia in it.
I was looking because I know like the other two that we had looked at, the Truvia, were like distributed by Walmart, and these I think wouldn't come from Walmart.
What's in that?
So ingredients are organic erythritol, organic stevia leaf extract, and natural flavor.
So this one might be better than that one, just because all that's in here is organic stevia and fiber. So there's no natural flavors. Or this one is organic, so it is probably better than Truvia, which wasn't organic, but it still had erythritol and natural flavors.
Okay. So Kate said, to me, honey and real maple syrup are better than some of this stuff, just because it's at least natural.
Right, yeah, it doesn't have crap in it. But
it's the glycemic.
Yeah, it's still sugar.
So even if it's natural compared to synthetic, like it's great that it's natural coming from nature, but even though it's coming from nature, it's still skyrocketing your glycemic index, which is what you don't want to happen, which is where the Truvia and Stevias don't do.
Yeah, it might be better. It also depends on your health. If you have chronic disease, if you have severe inflammation, toxicities, cancer, anything like that, thyroid problems, then you don't want to spike your glycemic index at all. You really want to get into that fat burning metabolism, which you only will do that if your blood sugar stays stable. So, nothing in life is perfect, so you have to kind of pick where you're at and what's best for you where you're at. When you do get relatively healthy, then maybe honey would be better for you than something with chemicals in it. But I would still prefer you try the real deal of stevia and monk fruit before honey and sugar. Or what I did in the past, which was mainly this with a little bit of honey.
I would have never thought that sugars should be specific to people, like personalized to people. So
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, it depends on your health. Sugar, no matter what, isn't necessarily going to promote life for you, but it will have a less of effect the more healthy you are.
Okay.
So this is the best. And we actually had a patient give this
Oh,
5 years ago.
really?
So this is real deal.
5? I'm sorry.
5 years.
5? You still have this from 5 years ago?
Because you only need like an eighth of a teaspoon. It's obscenely sweet. And so this is what stevia should look like. I don't know if you can see it at all. It's really kind of shiny. You see that? No.
It's like earth.
Yeah, greeny, browny. Just the cloud of it is so
Oh yeah,
sweet.
that's you should show them that. Like, let's see if you guys can see this. Where's his? Do you see that?
It's a powder.
It's so crazy.
So that's what stevia
I'll
is
close it up.
actually. It's a plant that you can grow yourself. I think they have it at Agway. And all you do is dry out the leaves and then
Chop it up.
chop it up like that, and then you got stevia. And so this monk fruit also would be a powder. I think that one came from Asia. But this has been around like 1,500 years, and then true monk fruit has been around for centuries over there. And these have absolutely no impact on your blood sugar whatsoever. So you can have as much as you want.
It is really sweet,
Really
though.
sweet. And I find real stevia has less of an aftertaste than these kind.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't like these kind, order yourself some raw stevia, and don't be surprised if it tastes different.
Does it still have the aftertaste if you grow and dry it yourself?
It will have less.
So does this one here has less of an aftertaste? Because I'm
Yeah.
actually trying to make myself like stevia.
Yeah, I mean, you can try it. I mean, you can put a little on your finger, but it's probably going to be so strong that.
Which I can't do right now.
Germs.
Just because, yeah. Because I'm a germaphobe and I haven't washed my hands, so there's no way I could do that. But thank you. We're such a great team because we are so different. We just complement each other really well, which is awesome. But yeah, like she gets me and see that and accepts me. So that's what's one of the things I think is coolest about the two of you.
Yeah.
I actually have something I wanted you to do for me
Yeah.
on our Go Live. I'll put this down. So, if any of you guys saw, yesterday I went live here, and it was because I wanted you guys to know. So, I bought these protein bars that I thought were really good for me because they say organic, they're non-GMO. My kids and I absolutely love them, so which is a win-win because the kids, we all like them. So I found these, and you have to keep them refrigerated, which I think, I have no idea, like, that's got to be a good thing, right? Anyway, in my mind, that's got to be a good thing. So, one of the ways, I was going to have you, first of all, look at the back to see maybe what you thought of it, just looking at it. And then typically, like, just how we were talking about how different people need different sugars or need different things, you guys do a muscle test that could tell me if my body likes this or not. So I thought we'd show you how we do that real quick. I didn't show them or tell them what it was, because I didn't want to, if it was bad, I didn't want, I don't.
Let's see, we've got peanuts, honey, maple syrup, protein, milk protein, cocoa, egg whites, coconut oil, almonds, vanilla, salt. So, not bad. So I like that you can understand all the ingredients, for one, so that's a good thing to keep an eye on if you don't know what an ingredient is. And it's not just that they put it in like the, what is it, like the Latin or whatever, and then in quotations or whatever these are called.
Of what it should be,
Yeah,
or what it mimics.
what the English version, because then you know what it is. But, so that part's good. It does have sugar in it, so it depends on like what you're aiming to get out of this.
Okay.
If you're trying to get something that won't impact blood sugar, then this isn't the right bar for you. If you're trying to get, like, you're really unhealthy eating kids to eat healthier, this could be a great option for you.
And we've been using this like for like the before soccer games.
Yeah, so it's probably a lot better than like Luna bars, which are full of probably like soy and all these other things. So this probably would be better than that. But if you look at carbs, there's 20 grams of carbs and then 13 grams of sugar. But truly any carb will largely break down into sugar. And so you got 4 grams per 1 teaspoon. So you get 5 teaspoons of sugar per bar.
5 grams.
Teaspoons.
5 teaspoons of sugar in each of those
Each
bars.
of these bars. So according to like
No
sugar.
wonder I like it.
And so you're really, like, humans probably should only have like 50 to maybe 70 to 80, maybe 90 grams of carbs a day. So you've got, depending on your health, whether you need like the lower amount, this could be half your carbs for your whole day that you can eat.
Wow.
So that's just like, for your kids, this is a great option because they're
Okay.
not used to eating healthy.
Right.
So it's a good like step, and this could be a good thing to just have in the fridge if you don't have time to cook. It's obviously better than McDonald's type of things, but it's still will impact your blood sugar,
Okay.
which is the point of today's
Yes.
thing. So it's not bad, but not great.
And then let's say, so I'm just sorry, I know you guys can hear that crinkle. How about, can we just move the table?
Yeah.
And then let's see if we can just show them before we leave what you would do. Sorry guys. What you would do to show them. Here, I'll just put it here. Okay.
Chilled.
Oh, look. Can we get up? You're...
My legs are not.
All right, so I'm gonna hold this. You guys can, yeah. And I'm just gonna put my hand out, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So you're gonna push up. And I'm gonna check her nervous system. Here's your
Yeah, my belly button. Yep.
So far, so good. What is this? Behind the ear here makes me check whether you're like sensitive or allergic to things. The test's okay for you.
Ah.
So it's not bad. It would probably be a good option for you to just have.
So, oh, that's so great. So some of the girls that came in today were, wanting to know how I did on this. And, it's so cool because in your treatments, somebody could bring in any one of these sugars to get tested with. And that's the simple test that you would do on them to figure that out.
In the actual treatment, what we do is we have a list of organs or areas that don't work on you. And then if we want to be thorough, we test that against all the organs to know, is it safe completely? So.
It's just so super cool because it really is so personalized. Like, your treatments are so personalized. And I love that you guys take the littlest of things and just cater it to, our lives and our lifestyles and so forth. So super cool. If you guys have any other questions that you guys want to know about sugar, these
Do best.
So give us a call. We'd love to hear from you, or just DM us any questions or comments that you have. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Bye.
Bye.